Welcome back to SHIB Planet, everyone. This is Ace. Today I'm going to be covering the Shiba Inu AMA, which was just held. Overall, the response from the community has been quite positive, and there was quite a lot of information which was covered today. And if you've been a member of this channel for a while, you'll already know much of the information and the topics which were covered, as we've covered them quite in a lot of detail on this channel. So what I'm going to do today is I'm just going to cover the main points, and I'm going to give any new information and new announcements which were covered today. And I'll also do my best to illustrate some of the points just for clarity. And okay, today's panel included a number of members from the Shiba Inu team itself. We had Queenie, who was present at the last Shiba Inu AMA, and I think she did a good job this time round, and she spoke about various aspects of the Shiba Inu ecosystem. We also had Archangel, one of the Shiba Inu growth breed members, and he spoke quite extensively about the metaverse. And we also had the SHIB Informer himself, and he spoke at length about the overall Shiba Inu ecosystem, and he had some interesting information about some burns, which we're going to cover just now. And we also had a number of guest panelists, as well as we got to hear from Shiba Inu's project lead for the Shiba Inu game, which is currently under development. We had a cover from William Volt himself. Anyway, with that said, guys, let's get right to it. Okay, from my perspective, one of the biggest announcements which came from today was revealed by the SHIB Informer himself, where he mentioned that ShibaSwap 2.0 is going to have a special portal which is going to be dedicated to Shiba Inu token burns. He also mentioned that the team is well aware that there's a huge call from the community for a burn facility to be developed. So it looks like we're going to be finally getting this after many months of calling for it. And anyway, no further details were actually given about how it's going to operate exactly, but I personally am glad that this is coming, because as you know, I once made a video which suggested that something like this be made. Anyway, he went on to mention how the overall ecosystem balances, but I'm not going to go through that as I've made several videos about this in the past. And then next on the panel we had Archangel, and he probably had one of the most detailed announcements of the whole AMA. In it, he talked about how the Shiba Inu metaverse, and in particular, he talked about the land sales within the Shiba Inu metaverse. Now, basically, at the moment, there's going to be 99,000 plots of Shiba Inu metaverse land which are going to be made available. And at the moment, 35,000 spots are immediately available. And once those have been fully purchased, then the remaining ones will be allocated for purchase. Now, in order to purchase land, users are going to need to hold the leash token and then lock it in a special contract, but not the same as XLeash, which is the current way we stake leash. So at the moment, the current leash which we stake, it won't count. It'll just have to be a different contract for that. So if you hold leash token and you've already staked it and you want to get some land, you may have to stake it or lock it in the other contract for you to get access. Anyway, leash token is going to give users preferential access to buy the land itself, but the land itself will be purchased with Ethereum token, with ETH. And I explained the reason why they're doing this in my previous video, if you guys are interested. And there's also a special exclusive feature for Shiboshi's holders, where Shiboshi holders will be given the ability to purchase land, but without having to hold or lock any leash token. Now, there's currently 2,000 land plots which have been set aside for Shiboshi's holders for this exact purpose. And 2,000 is about 2/3 of the current Shiboshi's holders, as I'm sure not everyone is going to be interested in buying land. Anyway, according to the team, a snapshot of the Shiboshi's holders was already taken, and users will be selected from that pool at random. And you might be wondering, why should people buy land anyway? So land, digital land works more or less the same way as physical land. Anyone who purchases digital land, once the metaverse is live, it's pretty much your property. And if anyone sort of builds any sort of property or runs anything on it, I suppose you can charge rent and get some passive income on that. And on that point, I'm just going to illustrate this point. This is just an image I got from the internet, but I like to be visual when I show things. So if this is an example of the, let's say, like the metaverse, this is what they explained. There's going to be a section, probably the middle section of the metaverse, which is going to be called the Shiba Zone or the Dog Park. And then plots of land around that are sort of zoned, and there's designated areas. The areas which are closest to the center, the dog part or the Shiba Zone, will probably be the most expensive. and then the areas outside that, expanding outwards, will have probably different prices. And then my understanding from the AMA is that users will be able to bid on whatever plots of land which they want. I think one plot of land is what they call 10 by 10, and I think people will just have to bid from those. They didn't really give any pricing, but I do recall a price range being given that it'll start from 0.2 ETH all the way up to 1 ETH. So I really wonder how that's going to turn out. And then they also talked about Shiba Inu games. Now, basically, most of this information we've already covered on this channel, but just to summarize, there's going to be 2 games which are going to be made. One is going to be a blockchain-based play-to-earn game, and the other one is going to be a non-crypto game which is geared towards non-crypto users, and it's currently being developed by AAA Game Studio, PlaySide, and William Volk. Now, essentially, the games are going to be similar, and they'll share the same artwork. But one of them is going to be a free-to-play game, which is available on PC and mobile, and it'll have some in-app purchases as well. But the other one is going to be your typical crypto play-to-earn game on the blockchain, and they also hinted that additional Shiboshis would have to be minted for that as well. And Queenie and William, they also mentioned that the benefit of having 2 games is that there's a possibility that the PlaySide game may actually draw or attract new users to play the blockchain version, so that the ecosystem also gets exposure from that in that way too. And for those of you who don't know, the game is going to be like a collectible card game type, which is that's quite a popular game genre at the moment. If you want an idea of what that looks like, just look up a game called Hearthstone and you'll get an idea. And another point which was brought up is that Wolfpaper version 3 is currently being developed. I know it's been several months actually since we've had a white paper or a Wolfpaper, and there's going to be lots of updates into that which are going to be included. And we also got an update regarding Wellies, the fast food franchise. It pretty much says here that the NFT exclusive for Wellies will fund future locations. So Wellies is going to have some NFTs, and part of the proceeds from that, I suppose, are going to fund future locations. I also recall them mentioning that I think at the beginning of 2023, that's when we should start being able to see the additional franchises start popping up globally. And they pretty much talked about that. And I think they also mentioned that, this is a long-term project, so people shouldn't be looking to, for Wellies and other franchise types to be popping up over the next few days or so. As, projects like this do take time to be able to build and to get the right sort of people to start up, the franchise locations, etc. And I think that's mostly it. The only thing which I haven't talked about was the Doggy DAO. But if you've watched this channel for a while, we've covered Doggy DAO quite a lot, and it was pretty much reiterated there that we're pretty much on phase 1 of the Doggy DAO, which we all know about at the moment. They also talked a bit about Shibarium. Shibarium is at an alpha phase at the moment, so they were pretty tight-lipped on the progress over there. But we do know that they're working with a couple of those really good developers, and things are running smoothly. And I think that's pretty much the summary. They also talked quite a lot about Burn Initiative. And speaking about burns, SHIB Informer pretty much says that having burns is going to be well integrated into the ecosystem, and that's going to allow for positive, price feedback and a burn rate overall. And he also went on to say regarding burns that, they were talked about in the AMA. He says he had 3 facts. Are burns coming? Yes. They will be frequent and integrated into the ecosystem to burn SHIB. And about when, he says no dates will be given until it's really close. And Shibarium is still in the alpha state. And to wrap things up towards the end, Satoshi spoke and Queenie spoke that within the next week we should expect an announcement for, how he's always been sending out that cryptic tweet about forever and ever. It says here, great space at Watcher Guru, but I can assure you, just like we saw with Mr. VB, SHIB will be best dressed forever and ever. And I'm not sure what you guys think that is, but they kept throwing around a lot of codes like best dressed and forever and ever. And in my view, that could be that fashion brand Forever 21. That's what it seems like to me. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. And that is actually quite a big partnership if that ends up being true. Otherwise, that's pretty much it for my summary of the AMA. Let me know if you attended the AMA and if there was anything which I pretty much missed. I probably skipped a few things as well. Just let me know in the comments sections. And otherwise, thank you so much for watching, everyone. This is Ace. Peace.